Good day, ladies, and welcome to Step Up. Yet another week has passed, and here we are again. I want to talk today about something that touches every single one of us at one stage of our lives. A topic that we don't talk about every day, but it's very, very important and relevant where we are today. So today I have with me in the studio at Step Up a lady called Anette Porte, and we're going to talk about something that she has, I will not say at this moment mastered in, because it's something that develops year in and year out. But it is something that she's got a vast amount of experience of and knowledge of. And I'm very, very happy to say welcome, Anette, to Step Up.
Thank you, Chantal.
It's an honor to have you on the set and with me, and to basically talk what God has, in an area that God has graced you to talk about.
Absolutely. Yes, I think life happens to us, and along the way we learn how to deal with what is on our table.
And sometimes it's not a good setting.
Yes, indeed.
So today you may ask, what is the program about today? Today I'm going to talk about something very important. And guys, I want you to note this. Call a friend, WhatsApp your girlfriends, get somebody on the line that you know that has struggled with depression, that is struggling with depression, suicide, whatever the case may be, something in the lines of depression. We're going to go deeper into this in a moment's time. But today I'm going to take the time out and talk about depression and the impact it has on you as a person, and also on the people around you, because sometimes we are so focused. And when I met you, this is one of the things that you said that stuck with me. Sometimes we are so focused in a family about the one that's got the depression, but we forget about the people that is around that person. And that really made a significant impact in my spirit the day when you spoke about it, because many times there's somebody sick in the house, and somebody's got cancer, for instance, and everybody comes to visit that person, and everybody's concerned about that person, but we forget who the people around that person that cares for that person. Isn't that true?
Absolutely, and that is why we need to look at the family and how the family needs to learn to nurture yourself. You don't need the ABC of the nurturing alphabet, you need to A to Z. And you need to learn what works for you and what will recharge you, because you are the support system 24/7.
Absolutely. I hold a book in my hand called Hold On To Him, and this is Annette's book. She wrote this book about personal experiences and journey of life and what God has bestowed upon your heart. And I'm very excited, and I was blessed with this book. And we're going to talk out of this book. So if you want to get one of these books, all the details is at the bottom of the screen. Also at the end of the program, you will get Annette's email address where you can make contact with her directly. Today we're talking about depression, and there's a couple of things I want to ask Annette. And where does depression fit into your life? Let me start there.
That is a good question. I'm a social worker by profession, and my husband used to joke when people say, "So, what is your wife doing?" I say, "Well, she first was in Stickland Hospital, then she went to Westkoppies Hospital, then she was at Sonderwater Prison, and then she was in Paulsmoor Prison." When they looked really scared, he would laugh and say she did sleep at home every night.
Oh, well done. Well done.
And I am so thankful, because my journey in psychiatric hospitals taught me and gave me the background to understand depression as an illness, as a physical illness, and that the World Health Organization gives categories for what they call holistic care, and they say it is bio, psycho, social, spiritual.
Wow.
Which means I have a body, I have a mind, I have social relationships, and I have a relationship with God. And all of that is affected by depression as an illness.
And the thing is, Annette, with depression, none of us can say, "I've not felt down."
Yes, and there's a difference between having a down day and having depression as an illness. And we have an NGO called Hospivision, and we give pastoral care in 13 government hospitals, where we serve the patients, the family members who lost somebody, and also support the personnel. We are intimately involved in sickness and caring for the sick. And then what happened is we got married with the expectation to live happily ever after. And 2 years after we got married, my husband went for military service. He was a chaplain. And it is 33 years later that we've been journeying with depression.
Wow, wow. And here you and I want to quit the day after tomorrow when we just had a rough day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Annette, if depression alienates and isolates you, how does it impact on your family, on your relationships, your families, and with God? How would you, what is the impact?
Yeah, I think first of all, what we have to understand is the impact on the person. So may I start by explaining the sickness? How does the illness work? What the first thing is I got this image from God that it is like your brain passes messages on to the body, and then it's like when you would throw a ball to somebody and they do not have hands to catch it. That is exactly what happens. Your brain sends messages, but your body is unable to catch it because the transmitter neurons is absent.
Okay.
And that is what is lacking in the body of somebody that lives with depression. Then all the messages goes haywire. And it starts very often with a sleep disturbance. People find that they cannot fall asleep, or when they fall asleep they wake up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning out of ordinary and are unable to return to sleep. They have difficulty concentrating, very difficult to focus on something, a total lack of drive and energy. So the energy loss is a very big thing. The other thing that is often affected is your ability to enjoy food. Food tastes like straws, or it tastes like the sky. It tastes like nothing.
There's nothing, there's no taste.
Just nothing, no taste. And very often there's serious weight loss that then follows. Can also go to the opposite side, that people actually pick up weight. What then also happens is that your mood is so down that there's really a darkness that you descends in. And that's different from having a down day.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah. And depression can start with an adjustment reaction after a very big stress, after you moved to another part of the world, or after you've lost somebody that died, or after you've lost a job. A big stressor can have an adjustment reaction. What I am referring to is what we call a major depressive episode that totally impacts on every part of your life. And I think what is so hard is that every illness has as I said, a physical, a spiritual, and an emotional component. For us as Christians, it is the double whammy that it also impacts on your relationship with God. And so to understand the intensity of the almost a distrust that you now develop with your body, because it's like your body has left you. It's no longer something you can rely on. My husband has a very brilliant mind, and he said one of the hardest things was waking up in the morning and feeling like his brain is like a bowl of cotton wool.
Wow. And that can make you absent in everything. Sure. Depression is something that is real, and the problem with depression is sometimes we tend to only catch it when it's too late. I almost want to say when it's quite far in someone's life.
Yeah.
And note, especially back in the day, our children was carefree. Nowadays, children suffer from the age of 12. They are depressed. And
absolutely.
And it's something that we've got to be alert of.
Yeah.
How can the Christian community support someone with depression?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that question, because with any other type of illness, we as Christians are so beautiful in the way that we support people. We really give, if somebody has a diagnosis of cancer, you give undiluted support. With depression, there's the filter of judgment. What is wrong with you? It's all in your mind. You must just pull yourself together. Please, never, never, never say that to somebody that lives with depression. Because then you will really be like Jesus said on the cross, Father, forgive them. Because they really don't know what they say.
The one thing that we want to say is that the Word, God, can heal you from anything. He can heal you from disease, sickness. He can heal you from depression. He can heal you from whatever you feel, whatever you are suffering with. That's most important to know today. Is depression real? It's real. Do we have people that commit suicide on a daily basis? Yes. We know at least somebody that knows somebody, or somebody that had suicide in their family.
Yes.
Each one of us at some point has had an encounter with something like that. I, in my life, never had somebody in my close circle who committed suicide. However, I know a few people that is close to me that had family members committing suicide. So is it real today as daylight? We are coming to the end of our first session. We're going to take a break and we're going to come right back. And I want you, if you know of anybody that is suffering with this, I want to say, oh, this is something very bad, this demon in your life. Today, there's somebody here with me that can maybe not give you all the answers at this moment in time, but can tell you, hey, this is real and there's an answer for you. So don't go away, call your friends and tell them, listen, tune in to Step Up. We're going to be right back. Hi, I'm Chantal White from Step Up, and I want to take this opportunity to invite all the ladies to join me every Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock on Live CBN. All the details for live streaming is at the bottom of the screen. This is a program where we talk about women, to women, about everyday issues. Very, very interesting topics we deal with on a weekly basis. Don't miss me every Tuesday evening. We have a repeat on a Wednesday morning, 12:30, and a Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. See you girls soon. Ladies, welcome back to Step Up. We're talking today about a topic that one way or the other you had an encounter with, and if not, to God be the glory. And maybe you know somebody that has been on a journey that didn't know what was going on with them. And today we're talking about a illness, a disease that creeps up on you at the times when you least expect it.
Yes.
Today we're talking about depression. And one of the book that I hold in my hand is called Hold On To Him. And it's from Anette. It's a book from Anette de la Porte. And the book is about depression and her journey of depression and how God revealed certain things to her. And one of chapter 2 says, and under the bed day. And did we not all have an under the bed day? I just want to tell you, we all had an under the bed day. And sometimes people look at you and say, no, you've got it together. You are, you on Step Up, you're doing well. And they don't have a clue. So what is this chapter about?
That chapter is about the absolute essentials of family support. And what happened there is that was when our teenage daughter showed the first symptoms of depression. We looked for her everywhere, couldn't find her, sister and I. And I walked into her room again and suddenly had the idea to look under the bed, and there she was. And I called her sister and we just moved in on both sides and lie with her in silence. And eventually she gave a big sigh and said, I'm having an under the bed day.
Wow.
And we said, that's okay, we will stay here with you. And we simply breathed with her until she said, it's better now, we can go out. And that was the start of her depression. That was actually the first sign that something is wrong.
Wow.
And we have treated it like you do with any illness. Go to the doctor, get a diagnosis, get medication. And what I want to say is please, please, please. People often don't like being on medicine because there might be side effects and they don't like how the medicine is making them feel. Our first priority is to preserve life. And I don't know if my husband would still be here today after 33 years of journeying with depression if he had not been on medication. And do what is the responsible thing to do. get help, because the body cannot fix that shortage of neurotransmitters itself. It needs to be supplemented, it needs to be added.
And it's just biblical to be able to know exactly what I'm fighting with, what is it that I'm fighting, because if I have sinusitis and I drink and I rub my arm with deep heat or whatever ointment that I get, it's not gonna heal me.
Absolutely.
You've got to find out what's your problem, and most important, ladies, find out what is the cause of this thing. If you can find it out sooner rather than later, it's better. Because sometimes, Annette, we are in a relationship and I know it's not good for me, but I can't get out. And that's something in my life, it's a long story, but in my life I had something like that. And I couldn't move out of it because I was afraid. And God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, in my understanding of the word, I have a responsibility towards myself. You can't help me if I don't want to be helped.
Absolutely.
You can assist me, but the help must come from the inside.
Yeah, so the family role is very important. The family must support with unconditional love. And what we have to understand about how we operate, men give advice and women do sermons. Do not preach to your child. Do not preach to your husband. I assure you, it will not work. What you have to do is short conversations. You have to ask, do you need something? Is there something that I can do for you? And if they say no, respect the choice. One of the things we have done is sometimes we literally have a 20-minute conversation a day, because that's all he has capacity for. So for 10 minutes he can talk, and for 10 minutes I can talk. And what is an amazing tool is a 1-minute hug. For 1 minute he looks on his watch and he holds me in his arms. And 60 seconds can be beautiful. And that is sometimes the only physical connection that we have.
I like that. 60 seconds can be beautiful.
60 seconds can be beautiful.
Annette, not part of the questions that we have prepared for. You as a person living with this in your house for 32 years, how did you make it? How did you make it?
God says His mercy is new every morning. For me, it was sometimes new every hour.
Wow. Wow.
I am blessed with a personality. I'm not a cup half full person, I'm a cup running over. And that
awesome.
That is a blessing. And I'm also a beacon of hope, because I serve a God of hope.
Amen.
Yeah. And that is why I'm presenting hope workshops. Because people need often to learn how to deal with their disappointments. They need to learn how to deal with their losses. And the disappointment of depression is so deep, because you were not expecting this.
No.
This was not part of your picture or your plans for your life.
Me, sometimes I felt depressed, and I just feel, oh Lord, here I am again, and I sulk at the feet of Jesus, and 5 minutes or a day after that I get up and then I move on, because being single, you need your coping mechanism kicks in, and you just know you need to move, because there's nobody here who's going to tell me to get up and go. So but it's not always good, because sometimes you don't deal with issues.
Exactly. And one of the things I teach people is that driver we have to be strong. You have to find an inner circle. You, as a family member who journeys with somebody who lives with depression, have to find an inner circle where you can call somebody and have a cup of coffee and fall apart. You may fall apart, because that's part of saying, I need help and I need support.
That's very true. We are so used to pretend, and something dropped in my spirit last week. Life taught us, or something taught us, that I must pretend that I'm good. We are living, many of us are living a life of a pretentious life. I cannot show the world, today I'm broken. I don't even want to cry in church, because then I know someone's going to ask me, are you okay? You know what? We need to be real. It doesn't mean we need to break down every 5 minutes. That's not what I'm saying. Because Well, if it's you, then it's you. But when you're having a bad day, like you said, with a close circle, with that people that you trust with your heart, you know, speak about it. Because one of the things that I know for a fact, Anette, is when the devil is on your case to get you, he will isolate you first. And that is one of the signs of depression. I don't want to be around people. I want to be in my bedroom. I don't even want to see people. Is that one of the signs?
It's absolutely one of the signs, and because you don't feel like contact and connecting with people, you absolutely withdraw, and also there's just no energy to deal with people. And one of the very, very important things that the patient has to take responsibility for is to look at his relationship circle and to take stock of his life and get the medical help. But medical help on its own is not going to address this problem, because you have to address it in all the facets. So you need somebody like a social worker, you need somebody like a psychologist who can support you emotionally and also challenge you, because depression is a mirror. It gives you an opportunity to see, am I overworking? Am I more work orientated and don't have a balance with fun and relationships in my life? It's also a mirror of your relationship with yourself. What lies do I believe about myself? Where do I need to adjust my habits and my patterns? So absolutely essential is, apart from medicine, you need emotional support, pastoral support, and you have to exercise. My husband goes to gym religiously 3 times a week.
Important.
My daughter, who lives also with depression, goes to do horse riding 3 times a week. She also swims, because being in the water is also very good to secrete serotonin. And bless your medicine. If you drink medicine, don't drink it with resentment. Say, thank you, Father God, that somebody was able to put this together, and I bless it to my body. And vitamin supplements is absolutely essential. So I came upon a doctor who is also qualified as a pharmacologist, and he has put a specific program together that we find helpful. And so you need to look at all of those things. It's never only one thing in isolation.
We've come to the end of this program. We're a minute and 40 seconds away. And today I want to say to somebody that is suffering with this illness, there is help for you. There's help, there is medication for this. But I want to recommend the greatest physician that ever walked the earth. His name is Jesus. There's nothing that he cannot do. There's no chain in your life so thick that he cannot break. And let us not only look to a person for help, but let us look to Jesus for help first and foremost.
Hold on to him.
Unto him, hold on to him. Because you know what? Everything is going to pass away, and people will fail us. And my situation may even fail me, but he will never fail me. And that's important today to understand. Are you today suicidal? Do you feel, I'm going to lose my mind? I broke up, my relationship broke up. My husband walked out on me. My child passed away. And Chantal and Anette, I am not going to make it. You're going to make it. Through the grace of God, you've got to find it in you to wake up tomorrow morning and get on one more day, like you said, hour by hour, day by day. Is it hard? It's hard. Do you suffer from? Is it a suffering? It is. But there's hope. There's hope. There's hope.
Always.
There's always hope. So Anette, I want to thank you. We will talk about this. We have only touched a small part of today on depression. On a later stage, I'm going to invite Anette back, and we're going to continue on this, because there's so much that I want to get into and talk about. And sorry, my earrings are coming off. That I want to talk about on a later stage. But don't go away. Call your friends and tell them, there's a repeat on this program tomorrow at 12:30. So don't miss it. Contact somebody to tune into this and learn about it. Yes. Thank you, Anette, for coming to the program, and we will stay in touch, and you'll be back.
Absolutely. So step up onto the platform of solid knowledge, and God, who is your rock.
There you have it. Bless you. Thank you for coming. Hi, I'm Chantal White from Step Up. Follow my latest article in the brand new Lady Rose magazine. Get your latest copy at the local leading retail stores.